to it. This is what we call our P85 model, which just means it has the largest battery pack that we offer. It's called 85 kilowatt hours, which means you can get right around 260 to 280 miles of range on a single charge. Now the P in front of that 85 means it's our performance car. This is the fastest one we offer. This is about 416 horsepower. It goes 0 to 60 in right around 4 seconds. So it's faster than a Corvette Z06. It's faster than the Aston Martin Rapide, faster than the BMW M5, faster than a Dodge Viper. The car can pretty much beat any car on the road in a quarter-mile drag race outside of supercars, your Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Koenigseggs, things like that. A lot of great features about this car that other cars don't have, besides the fact that it's electric. Just the design of it is one of the coolest cars you'll ever see. What you can see right now can be the door handles that pop out automatically. You keep this close to the car. That. Now there's a reason for that besides the obvious cool factor of it. The door handles do retract into the body of the car when you're driving it, which cuts down on aerodynamic drag. This car is actually the most aerodynamic sedan ever built. There's a number called a drag coefficient. 0.3 is what they thought was unbeatable for sedans. You can't get a drag coefficient less than 0.3. This car's a 0.24 drag coefficient. The reason we can do that are things like the door handles. The biggest part, if you got down on your stomach and you looked underneath this car, unlike any other car on the road, there's no exhaust system underneath. Obviously, we don't need an exhaust system since we don't have any exhaust in this car. It's just flat across the bottom. So it's incredibly aerodynamic. Another cool thing about this car, if you guys want to come up to the front of it, since we don't have an internal combustion engine, we have extra trunk space up here. This is what we call our trunk top. It's about 5.5 feet. The important thing to take away from this up here is that this car has about 1,000 fewer moving parts than the internal combustion engine car. Ben touched on that inside. Fewer moving parts mean that this car needs a lot less maintenance than any other car. In fact, it needs 0 required maintenance. So all the times you take cars in for changes, pumps, new hoses, things like that, this car doesn't have any of that. It's an incredibly simple piece of machine, mechanically speaking. Want to go around to the back?
This is radical.
Still have an entire trunk back here because the batteries of this car, unlike any other hybrid or battery-powered car, are all along the bottom of the car, which means we can use all the other space for cabin space, storage space, things like that. This cable right here is what we call a UMC, Universal Mobile Connector, and this is what plugs the car into your house. This is the part that goes into your Tesla. This part plugs right into a 240 volt 40 amp outlet, which is the fancy word of meaning a dryer plug. Your dryer plug in your house, plug it right in.
So this car will dry your clothes as well as take your clothes.
This car doesn't have the optional seats. Oh my gosh, the factory sent their own seats. If you want to hold this for me. And hold that for me. So this is an option to this car. You can see out of the way here. So our CEO has 5 kids, and he wanted to design a sedan this entire family could use. So he designed these. Optional rear-facing child jump seats.
That I want
That's
to
too
I want.
Those are good for kids up to 4.5 feet tall. So that turns this car into a 7-seater, which is as big as most SUVs on the road.
That's awesome. 4.5. I want to do 4.5.
No, back up probably. Of course. Let me unlock it for you. So over on this side, if you want to take a look, this is the charge port. This is actually where you plug the car in. As you can see, it's hidden right behind this reflector here. This again cuts down on aerodynamic drag and also makes the car look as cool as it does. You don't have a gas tank. Right there. Plug the car in. At night when you get home, every morning you have a full charge. So it's a lot less like a car, more like a cell phone. Plug it in every night when you get home. Every morning you have 265 miles of range. On the inside of this car, you can go ahead and just pop that. Half of you can go on that side so you can see better. Feel free to open it up.
Relax.
In the middle, that's our 17-inch touchscreen. That controls everything about the car. That's your navigation, your media.
Media?
The reason we use soft buttons like an iPad is that this car is highly updatable and upgradable. Unlike any other car on the road, this car has no planned obsolescence. We do not design this car to be completely out of date in 4 or 5 years. This car is designed to be updated every couple months with new software. Once again, less like a car, more like your phone or your iPad. In fact, this car has been called more like a computer than a company. We don't call ourselves a car company, we're actually a tech company that just happens to build cars. So there's a lot of stuff that's a little bit different about this car. This car is always connected to the internet. 3G signal comes right to the car. It's provided by AT&T. It's no extra Tesla Motors takes place. That means you have Google Maps on this car. You have full web browsing on this car. Highly updatable. You have Slacker radio, TuneIn radio. I'm kind of biased, but it's the greatest car ever built. Now the acceleration that Ben touched on is so fast because all of our horsepower, all of our torque comes at 0 RPM. Which means this car, when you get in it, hit the accelerator, it feels more like a roller coaster than it does a car. It's an incredibly fast car.
Gonna get in it for a ride? Ben wanted the kids to have rides. I'm like,
yes,
I don't think I can do that.
Fob. There's no actual place in the car to drive. Pocket. Car audio.
How are they going to bring the price up?
They're going to make a small. So this one is like 5 series.
Which means there's no on button in this car. Conversely, there's no off button in this car. So to turn it on, you just get in it, sit down, put it into gear, and drive. To get out of this car and turn it off, you put it into park, get out of the car, shut the doors, and turn it off.
Such a convenience.
Good question. Any other questions I can answer about the car?
What do you do after 268 miles and you're not close to home?
It's a great question. So 99% of people's driving is only between 30 and 60 miles a day. That's it. So that means this car, in theory, if you're on the lower end of that, you can go several days to a week without charging. Because most people just drive to the office and back home.
If someone is to forget to charge and then they run out of battery power,
you would have to be towed. There's no backup generator or anything like that. But like I said, you get into the habit of pulling into your garage and plugging into this every single night, just like your cell phone, that it's actually easier to run out of gasoline than it is to run out of an electric charge. Because maybe you're in a hurry, you're tired, you don't want to stop at the gas station, that's how you run out of gas. This, every single morning you start off to what's akin to a full tank of gas.
Can you drive it around so we can see it? Can I go in?
No.
I don't know if I don't know
Mr. Shapiro could probably go, but you guys can't, unfortunately.
I'll love you forever.
I can't. Mr. Shapiro, are you going to go for a ride? Are you sure? I don't need your parents' permission.
Can I go in the back seat then?
I can call my parents and get permission.
Michael, this might be your only chance. Guys, watch out.
Such convenience and yet inconvenience at the same time.
Miss Grinnell, you want to get in there? Are you sure?
So this car's on right now.
It's on, would you like to get in?
Go
It's so quiet.
It's like us in the golf course.
Such acceleration speeds.
Cool. That's more expensive than like the average car.
Oh, awful.
This car, for our smallest battery,
43.
like I said, this is
Oh,
our
they're
85
calling me?
kilowatt hour car.
From inside?
Battery. Our smallest battery is 60 kilowatt hour, which gets you 200 miles of range. That starts at right around $70,000. So it is a bit more expensive than your average car. But what you
Oh, 1119.
almost future Tesla owner right there. So the money you get back, you can actually expect to save between $200 and $400 a month on not spending gasoline in this car. And electricity usually costs you about $6 for every 300 miles you ride this car.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Next time you get gasoline is. We don't offer a lease. I would say if you buy a car, bare minimum, you get one for about $900. Depending on how much you drive, between $200 and $300 for gas. Expect real savings of $16 a month. So is it an expensive car? Yes. This is an expensive car. But what Tesla is doing, we're designing less expensive cars. The car after this is what's called Model X. We're SUV crossover. Think like an Audi A7 cars. It's going to have 3 rows of seating for 7 adults instead of 5 adults like this one does. And after that, we're developing a car called the Model E. Now the Model E is going to be another 4-door sedan. It's going to be drastically different in this car because we think we can get that one to start right around $30,000 to $40,000.
There you
The
go.
reason we can do that is because right now we buy all of our batteries. I should say we buy all of our battery cells and products to make our battery cells. We are building, using Tesla, we're building our own battery factory. We're going to start building our own batteries.
There you go.
Reduce battery cost by 30 to 40%. So look for the Model E in 2016 or 2017. This will always be our top of the line flagship.
So like does it average out like the amount of gas, like is that more expensive? Do they average out to somewhat close to the same price?
Yes, yes. If you take into account the fact that you don't have to spend money on gasoline, you don't have to spend money on maintenance, things like that. This car can be comparable to say like a BMW 5 Series, the mid-size sedan, the Lexus ES, something like that, a Mercedes C-Class. So yeah, is it the most expensive car in the world? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. If you're looking at a BMW, a Mercedes, a Lexus, an Infiniti, this car is right in the same ballpark as those cars. And a much cooler car. And an American car.
It's nice. Okay, do you guys have other questions?
Yes.
Is it possible for your hand to like get stuck in the frame?
Want to try it out?
No.
You want Ben to try it out?
Sure.
Bad.
Does it hurt, Ben?
Nope. Oh, I was so scared of that.
Now on the other side of that is actually these motors are powerful enough for it to break through about 1.5 inches of ice in case the door handles ever get iced over.
Okay.
So it's powerful yet safe. The engineers thought of everything. One thing that I do want to mention that Ben didn't really touch on is that this car is equipped with regenerative braking. You guys ever heard of regen braking?
No.
You heard of regen braking? Alright, so regen braking is this car charging itself. And the way it does that is every time you let your foot off the accelerator, this car slows down very, very quickly without you even putting your foot on the brakes. So what's going on is the electric motor spins forward when you apply the accelerator. When you let off the accelerator, it starts spinning backwards. It kind of works as a magnetic generator. So what it does is every time this car is slowing down or coasting, the car is charging itself. That's called regenerative braking. Excuse me. You can expect to get about 10 to 15% of range back because of regen braking. So it's never going to charge itself full. But what it does is it just extends your range a little bit longer. Also what it does is it lets the motor, not the brakes, slow the car down. So your actual brake pads can last you 3 times longer than a traditional car, going back to a low cost of ownership of this car. High initial cost of ownership for this car, low cost of ownership.